Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please kindly be seated and thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Sarawak maju makmur, salam segulai sejalai. The Right Honourable Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari, Bintun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak. The Honourable Datuk Amar Haji Awang Tengah bin Ali Hassan, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Second Minister for Natural Resources and Urban Development, and Minister for International Trade, Industry and Investment, Sarawak. The Honourable Dato' Amar Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian, the Deputy Premier of Sarawak, and Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government. The Honourable Tan Sri Dato' Amar Haji Muhammad Asfia bin Awang Nassar, Speaker of the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly. His Excellency Okna Dato' Dr. Osman Hassan, Senior Minister in charge of Special Missions, Islamic Affairs of Cambodia. The Honourable Dato' Sri Haji Julaihi bin Haji Narawi, Minister for Utility and Telecommunications, Sarawak. The Honourable Ministers, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Sri Dr. Muhammad Abdullah bin Haji Zaidil, Acting Sarawak State Secretary. His Excellency R.J. Sharma, the British High Commissioner to Malaysia. Yang Mulia Datuk Sri Paduka Awang Haji Muhammad Azmi bin Haji Muhammad, Deputy Minister Energy at the Prime Minister's Office of Brunei Darussalam, the Honourable Datuk Haji Ibrahim bin Haji Baki, Deputy Minister for Utility, Sarawak Energy and Petros, and Chairman of Sarawak Energy Berhad, the Honourable Deputy Ministers, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Haji Sarbini bin Haji Suhaili, Group Chief Executive Officer of Sarawak Energy Berhad and the Chairman of SAREF 4.0, distinguished guests, heads of department, delegates and participants of SAREF 4.0, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the highly anticipated SAREF 4.0. Big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillah, it is wonderful to see so many passionate faces gathered here today, united by a common goal to foster sustainable growth and prosperity for our region through meaningful partnership, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, so as to pray for blessings for today's ceremony, it is now with great pleasure to invite Al-Fadil Ustaz Awang Fakhrul Rizan bin Awang Madahi to recite the doa. Falyatafaddal mashkura, minallahi ma'jura, majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan.
Amin, amin, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد اللهم يا الله Engkaulah Tuhan yang Maha Esa yang selayaknya menerima segala puji-pujian. Pada hari yang penuh kebaikan ini, dengan rasa kehambaan dan penuh kesyukuran, kami menadah tangan memohon kehadrat-Mu ya Allah. Kurniakanlah kerahmatan ke atas majlis perasmian persidangan Sustainability and Renewable Energy Forum 2025 yang akan disempurnakan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bintun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier Sarawak. Allahumma ya Allah, ya Rahman, ya Rahim, jadikanlah majlis dan program yang kami adakan ini berjalan dengan lancar dan sempurna, serta tercapai segala matlamat penganjurannya bagi mengukuhkan kerjasama strategik dalam memastikan jaminan tenaga serta memajukan integrasi ekonomi serantau. Kurniakanlah kepada kami taufik dan hidayah-Mu agar segala ilmu dan pengetahuan yang dikongsikan dapat kami amalkan dalam kehidupan dan tugasan kami seharian. Kurniakanlah kepada kami bimbingan dan petunjuk-Mu dalam segala perancangan dan usaha kami ya Allah. Permudahkanlah segala urusan kami, temukanlah kami dengan kejayaan yang cemerlang. Sesungguhnya Engkaulah sebaik-baik tempat kami memohon pertolongan. Allahumma ya Allah ya Dzal Jalali wal Ikram, perkukuhkanlah hubungan dan perpaduan antara kami. Mesrakanlah hati-hati kami. Bimbinglah kami ke jalan yang selamat. Selamatkanlah kami daripada kegelapan menuju cahaya. Dan jauhkanlah kami daripada setiap keburukan, sama ada yang kelihatan maupun yang tersembunyi. Lindungilah dan peliharakanlah kami daripada sebarang malapetaka, wabak penyakit, bahaya dan ancaman-ancaman musuh yang boleh memudaratkan diri kami, masyarakat, negeri dan negara kami. Allahumma ja'al hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين تقبل الله منكم.
Alhamdulillah, jazakallahu khairan kathira. Terima kasih. Thank you very much to Al-Fadil Ustaz Awang Fakhrul Rizan bin Awang Madahi from Sarawak Islamic Religious Department. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, selamat datang, a warm welcome to SAREF 4.0. It is the 4th edition of the Sustainability and Renewable Energy Forum happening here in the city of Unity, Kuching. We are indeed delighted to have all of you here as we embark on this exciting journey, celebrating this year's theme, Partnerships for Our Goals, Sustainable Growth and Prosperity for the Region. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we gather to discuss and explore more on the future of renewable energy, first of all, it is indeed an honor to invite the Honorable Dato' Haji Ibrahim bin Haji Baki, Deputy Minister for Utility and Telecommunications, Sarawak Energy and Petros, and who is also the Chairman of Sarawak Energy Berhad, to share his valuable insights on today's grand occasion in his welcoming remarks. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis mempersilakan, please.
Thank you. Terima kasih kepada pengacara majlis. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan good morning, a very warm welcome to all. The Right Honourable Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak, the Honourable Datuk Amar Haji Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Second Minister for Natural Resources and Urban Development, Minister for International Trade and Investment, the Honourable Dato' Amar Professor Dato' Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, the Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government, the Honourable Tan Sri Dato' Amar Haji Muhammad Asfi Awang Nasa, Speaker of Sarawak State Legislative Assembly, Sarawak, His Excellency Okna Dato' Dr. Osman Hassan, Senior Minister in charge of Special Mission Islamic Affairs of Cambodia, the Honourable Dato' Sri Haji Julaihi Haji Narawi, the Minister for Utility and Telecommunications Sarawak, Honourable Ministers, Bahagia Datuk Sri Dr. Muhammad Abdullah bin Haji Zaidil, the Acting Sarawak State Secretary, His Excellency Ajay Sharma, the British High Commissioner, Malaysia, Yang Mulia Datuk Sri Paduka Awang Haji Muhammad Azmi bin Haji Muhammad, Deputy Minister Energy at the Prime Minister Office of Brunei Darussalam, the Honourable Deputy Ministers, Bahagia Datuk Haji Sarbini bin Suhaili, Group Chief Executive Officer of Sarawak Energy Berhad, and the Chairman of SAREF 4.0, respected leaders, distinguished guests, heads of department, delegates and participants of SAREF 4.0, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to welcome you to the 4th edition of the Sustainability and Renewable Energy Forum, or SAREF 4.0. The event is organized by the Sarawak Energy and co-hosted by the Ministry of Utility and Telecommunication and the Ministry of Energy, Environmental and Sustainability Sarawak. Thank you to the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak for your time and gracing us with your presence today. This year, we are proud to welcome over 1,000 participants, delegates, including from ASEAN and other regional countries. Your presence shows our shared commitment to building a sustainable energy future. I would also like to thank our platinum sponsor, gold sponsor, silver sponsors, as well as our partners for their strong support in making SAREF 4.0 possible. Ladies and gentlemen, since its inception in 2019, SAREF has provided a valuable platform for sharing ideas and exploring solutions for Southeast Asia energy future. It supports the vision of Sarawak government under the leadership of the Right Honourable Premier. This includes post-COVID-19 Development Strategy PCDS 2030, the Sarawak Sustainability Blueprint 2030, and the Sarawak Energy Transition Policy. This year's theme is Partnerships for Our Goals, Sustainable Growth and Prosperity to the region. It reflects the need for trust, cooperation across borders for a fair and just energy transition, supporting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs Goal 17, Partnerships for the Goals. Importantly, SAREF 4.0 is part of the official program of Malaysia's Asian Chairmanship in 2025 this year, highlighting Sarawak's key role in regional cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarawak is powering regional collaboration through the Borneo grid. Our clean hydropower is on track to go beyond our borders, connecting Sabah, Kalimantan, and Brunei. We are also setting the stage to realize a truly interconnected Asian power grid powered by renewables. By sharing renewable energy, we can grow our economies while cutting carbon emissions altogether. Over the next 2 days, we will hear from thought leaders on energy transition and regional connectivity, sustainable hydropower, transitional fuels, and technologies like nuclear, innovation, financing, climate resilience, and nature-based solutions. SAREF 4.0 also features the Asian High-Level Roundtable on Asian Power Grid, the Adopt a Tree program for biodiversity and habitat restoration, the Youth Pavilion and the Asian Youth Awards, and a post-forum tour to the Batang Air Hydroelectric plant, which is celebrating 40 years of powering Sarawak. Ladies and gentlemen, sustainability is not just about big projects. It is also about action, local action, community benefits, and long-term care for our environment. Thank you once again to our sponsors, speakers, partners, delegates for your commitment. To the organizers, please accept my sincere gratitude and thank you for your hard work as well as dedication in making this event a success. And I look forward to the ideas, partnerships that will take shape from SAREF 4.0, driving a sustainable, connected and prosperous energy future for Sarawak, for Malaysia, for Asia, and for generations to come. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much to the Honourable Dato' Haji Ibrahim bin Haji Baki, Deputy Minister for Utility and Telecommunications, Sarawak Energy and Petros, and Chairman of Sarawak Energy Berhad. Alhamdulillah, and inshallah through this platform, ladies and gentlemen, together we have the power to unlock new opportunities and build a resilient, sustainable energy future. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed thrilled to embark on another journey of innovation and collaboration in the realm of renewable energy. And coming up next, please join me in welcoming the Honourable Dato' Sri Haji Julaihi bin Haji Narawi, Minister for Utility and Telecommunications Sarawak, to enlighten us with his insights and vision for SAREF 4.0. Untuk itu, Majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan.
Terima kasih Puan Pengacara Majlis. The Right Honourable Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak. The Honourable Datuk Ahmad Haji Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Second Minister for Natural Resources and Urban Development, Minister for International Trade, Industry and Investment. The Honourable Datuk Ahmad Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government. The Honourable Tan Sri Datuk Ahmad Haji Muhammad Asfia bin Awang Nasa, Speaker of the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly. His Excellency Okna Datuk Dr. Osman Hassan, Senior Minister in charge of Special Mission Islamic Affairs of Cambodia. The Honourable Ministers, yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad bin Haji Zaidil, Acting State Secretary of Sarawak, His Excellency Ajay Sharma, British High Commissioner to Malaysia, Yang Mulia Datuk Seri Paduka Awang Haji Muhammad Azmi bin Haji Muhammad, Deputy Minister Energy at the Prime Minister's Office of Brunei Darussalam, the Honourable Datuk Haji Ibrahim bin Baki, Deputy Minister for Utility in charge of Sarawak Energy and Petros, who is also the Chairman of Sarawak Energy Berhad, the Honourable Deputy Ministers, yang berbahagia Datuk Haji Syabini bin Suhaili, Group Chief Executive Officer of Sarawak Energy Berhad, who is also the Chairman of SAREF 4.0, distinguished guests, heads of departments, delegates and participants of 4.0, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Very good morning to all distinguished guests, speakers and delegates. It is a privilege to join you today at the Sustainability and Renewable Energy Forum, or in short, SAREF 4.0, powered by Sarawak Energy, which the Ministry of Utility and Telecommunication is proud to co-host. This forum stands as a testament to the power of collaboration, bringing together stakeholders from government, industry, academia, and civil society into one inclusive space for learning and collaboration. Through SAREF 4.0, our ministry affirms its commitment to driving innovation and realizing the collective vision of Sarawak and beyond for a sustainable energy in the near future. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, under the mandate of Ministry of Utility and Telecommunication Sarawak, we oversee the formulation of policy and regulation and ensure that the delivery of adequate, reliable, efficient, affordable, and safe electricity throughout Sarawak. Our ministry also supervises licensing, technical standards, and rural electrification via our electricity supply division, supporting both urban and remote communities. Our commitment to fully electrify Sarawak is closely aligned with United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 7, affordable and clean energy, which calls for universal access to modern energy services. Despite key challenges such as low accessibility and complex geographical conditions, 99% of our rural communities has access to 24 hours of reliable electricity supply, contributing to statewide coverage of 99.6% as of December 2024. The foundation role that our ministry has positioned us as a key enabler for projects that bolster energy access while aligning seamlessly with the Sarawak's green and development agendas. Over the years, we have advanced infrastructure development in tandem with regulatory updates, moving from Electricity Rules 1999 to the robust revised Electricity Ordinance, Chapter 50, bracket 2003, and most recently, the Electricity Amendment Ordinance 2023. These legal enhancements enable the transition to a low-carbon energy system, integrating renewable energy sources while maintaining system reliability and affordability. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the recent amendment to the Sarawak Electricity Ordinance is a game changer due to one, it introduces cleaner, more streamlined procedures and incentive, creating regulatory certainty that attracts independent power plant or independent power producers, IPPs, and private sector investment. Through this initiative or measures, we unlock the potential for a new generation project, including renewable and hybrid solution, to come online more swiftly and transparently, contributing to a more dynamic energy market. Beyond our shared goal of enhancing the energy sector, we are laying the groundwork for Sarawak's broader ambition to become a developed and high-income state by the year 2030, aligning closely with the PCDS COVID-19 Development Strategy, or in short, PCDS 2030. By creating the environment that fosters innovation, accelerates project delivery, and welcoming private sector participation, we strengthen the backbone of our economy, reliable, sustainable, and affordable energy, which is essential to driving industrial growth, attracting foreign investment, and improving the quality of life for all Sarawakians statewide. From the rural electrification to grid expansion, we remain steadfast in seeing our aspiration through, recognizing that every project strengthens the foundation for economic resilience and sustainable growth in Sarawak, which we look to sharing with our neighbors beyond. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen tremendous progress in Sarawak transmission infrastructure over the past decade. Our grid has been steadily expanded and strengthened to support both domestic and regional connectivity. A milestone achievement was reached in 2016 when Sarawak has been exporting renewable hydropower to our neighbor, West Kalimantan, Indonesia. This not only demonstrated our technical and operational capability, but also positioned Sarawak as a reliable regional energy powerhouse, able to supply clean, competitively priced electricity beyond our borders while fostering cross-border economic cooperation in the near future. And ultimately, we would be able to build Borneo power grid in the near future before leading to the ASEAN power grid, which we are thinking of in the near future. Building on this success, ladies and gentlemen, we are advancing the policy, technical and commercial frameworks needed to further connect Sarawak's grid, both domestically and regionally. These efforts are part of a larger vision towards building interconnected Borneo in support of Malaysia's effort in realizing ASEAN power grid in the near future. Indeed, ASEAN Power Grid Initiative will enable more resilient, sustainable, and integrated energy system across the region, fully aligned with Sarawak's sustainability goal and our role in supporting the regional energy transition. Ladies and gentlemen, our ministry stands firm in empowering Sarawak's sustainable energy trajectory through robust infrastructure, enabling policies, co-hosting transformative platforms like SAREF, unlocking investment opportunities, and aligning with our long-term development strategies. This year's theme, Partnership for Our Goals, Sustainable Growth and Prosperity for the region, is more than a slogan. It is a call to action, coming at a critical juncture for our state and region, for all of us to work hand in hand, bridging expertise, resources, and ideas to accelerate Southeast Asia's clean energy transformation. Together, let us use SAREF 4.0 as a launchpad for solutions that not only power our communities, but also inspire hope, drive innovation, and secure a brighter, more prosperous future for our generation to come. With that short remark, terima kasih. I wish all of you very productive and inspiring forum. Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much to the Honorable Dato' Sri Haji Julaihi bin Haji Narawi, Minister for Utility and Telecommunications, Sarawak. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, indeed our vision for 2025 SAREF is to foster partnerships that drive sustainability and create a low-carbon future for our region and beyond. And inshallah, let's all keep that momentum going. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the highlight of today's grand ceremony, that is, the opening plenary entitled Partnerships for Our Goals. This session will set the tone for SAREF 4.0 as we explore how collaboration can shape a resilient, low-carbon energy future. So please get ready to dive into insights on renewable energy, regional interconnections, and Sarawak's role in advancing shared prosperity through the Borneo grid. And for today's plenary session, it is co-hosted by CNN. Thus, guiding us with her expertise through this session is the renowned anchor and the correspondent of CNN. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Christy Lou Stout, who is also the Best News Presenter recipient in 2018 Asian Television Award. And now we are indeed delighted to have with us our visionary leader, who has been a pillar of strength in driving Sarawak's development and forging meaningful partnerships. His commitment to sustainable growth is indeed truly inspiring. Thus, ladies and gentlemen, it is now with great honor to invite and please welcome and put your hands together for the Right Honorable Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak, to lead our opening plenary Partnerships for Our Goals for SAREF 4.0. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis mempersilakan. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them another big round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Excellency. Good morning to my fellow delegates. I'm Christy Lou Stout, an anchor and correspondent with CNN. This is my first time to Sarawak, and it is an absolute pleasure and privilege to be in Sarawak, a linchpin for sustainability and green energy, not just for Malaysia, but for the entire ASEAN region. And a lot of that has to do with our very special guest. In fact, under his leadership, Sarawak has achieved carbon negative status and has maintained that. And that, my friends, is an incredible achievement. As a leader, the Premier Sarawak, His Excellency, is sharp. He is feisty. Can I say that? I mean in a good way. And he is also a dedicated leader, looking after a state that has become a powerhouse, one of the most important states in Malaysia, that also plays well with others. It collaborates with regional players, both private and public, and also invests in the people of his state, especially the students. I know that there is a student forum underway here at SAREF 4.0. A number of students are in the audience. His Excellency considers you to be the next generation of green leaders. So in the next half hour or so, we have a lot to get to during our fireside chat, to talk about leadership, to talk about his vision, and to talk about how to unleash Malaysia's and ASEAN's green energy potential. So without further ado, let's give him a warm welcome and a warm round of applause. Your Excellency, we had a moment to have a conversation earlier this morning, and we have to address the era that we are living in. We are living in a fractured era where a certain world power has backed away from global climate commitments. So what is at stake here? Why is it more than ever essential to stay on the path towards sustainable growth and decarbonization?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to welcome all the delegates from Sarawak as well as beyond Sarawak to Kuching. Welcome to Kuching. And also welcome to you.
Thank you.
Christy, to Sarawak. As you know, the world is facing a very pertinent issue that will direct the future. And this global issue is something to do with climate, whether we can survive for the future. Against that background, the United Nations has formed what they call UNFCCC, United Nations Framework on Climate Change. And under the auspices of United Nations, countries are exploring the idea of how to mitigate this climate change issue. From the conference in Kyoto, and during that conference there was division of views among the major countries, whether the world is really facing this carbon issue that has become a global issue throughout. And then from Kyoto, there was a conference in Paris, and that's where the world seemed to have a consensus view that climate is really an issue facing the world that led to Paris Agreement. And then later on, the Glasgow, the Dubai, and the Baku, the world acknowledged there must be a solution to this global issue where the climate has really have negative impact on economy as well as the future of the world. Against that background, I happened to attend the conferences. Sarawak must play its part against technology, the background of technology advancement, as well as the resources that we have in order to assist the world in finding nature-based solution to this climate change.
Your Excellency, you point out that climate is an economic issue. It is also an existential issue. It is a matter of survival. And as you said, Sarawak must respond. And Sarawak, under your leadership, has responded, achieving and maintaining carbon negative status. Congratulations once again. Could you tell us how are you achieving that, and to what degree is hydropower the hero energy source?
The question is, what is the energy? What form of energy that can replace fossil fuel? Because carbonization is a result of, emission of carbon. And you have to mitigate the emission of carbon. That's where the nature-based solution must be explored. And Sarawak is blessed. We got water. We got sunlight. And we got biomass. And these are all nature-based solutions that you have to explore together with advanced technology to provide an alternative to fossil fuel. For instance, water. We produce hydropower from our water resource. Number two, from water, through what they call water electrolysis, you produce hydrogen. And now the latest technology being explored in US is fusion energy, which is safer than nuclear energy. And this fusion energy comes from the atom in hydrogen, called deuterium, together with tritium. They react, produce heat, and produce power. There you are, you have another source of energy. Then you have solar. We got sunlight throughout the year. Then you can produce energy from solar. In other words, the resources are there. The only missing link is the technology. And this technology has to be explored through research. And that will, what we call, produce renewable energy. And the renewable energy is within the context of what we call sustainability. You can sustain power to power economy without jeopardizing the climate.
Sarawak is blessed with natural resources, with hydropower, with biomass, with solar. And in fact, Sarawak is the home of Malaysia's largest floating solar farm. And it just connected to the power grid about half a year ago. How is that impacting green energy generation?
Well, for instance, I just give you an example of Batang Ai solar farm. We have that solar farm covering only about 6% of the water bodies, producing 50 megawatt of power. Then, in terms of carbon mitigation, is about 50,000 tons out of the space. And this is one of the approaches that we have to adopt. And you can spread it out by producing this green energy to propel your economic growth. As I said, without jeopardizing the environment. And the world should be looking into this strategy. If you were to mitigate carbon emission, because carbon, as you know, comes from construction, from cement, from automobile, all that. And this has to be replaced by green energy. And if we are able to find nature-based solution, at least you can, to a certain extent, help to solve the climate change issue.
And by embracing multiple renewable energy sources, you can also maintain the power grid. You have that energy security. When the sun isn't shining, rely on hydropower. When the rivers run low, rely on the solar panels, right? Let's talk about hydrogen. You have buses, mass rapid transit running on hydrogen. The US, as you mentioned earlier, may be exporting fusion energy, but Sarawak exporting hydrogen?
Yes, about more than 10 years ago, I did study on this hydrogen, the usage of hydrogen. Of course, I went to Germany and one international company doing research on this. And when I came back, I started to think of producing hydrogen here in Sarawak. So I started a small plant. And then, of course, initially the cost is quite high. The process, water electrolysis process is very high, consume a lot of hydropower. But we got hydropower. And I believe over time, it's just like computer. Over time, the cost of producing hydrogen will be cheaper. The mechanics will use AI in terms of producing hydrogen. And today, apparently, Japan and China, they have reduced the cost of producing hydrogen by 80%. And that means one day, hydrogen become the energy of the future and the cleanest energy. Now, talking about export of hydrogen, we are having a pilot project exporting to Singapore in solid form. It is called magnesium hydride. Actually, it is any metal together with hydrogen. And then you export in solid form over there, then you liquefy it into a gas. Then the logistic transportation of hydrogen will improve over time. At the moment, there is a technology where you have compressed hydrogen in a tube, and that can be used for you to export. And I understand now shipping companies are now building ships that can carry hydrogen.
Another renewable source that you've embraced is bioenergy. Yeah. In fact, recently at an ASEAN meeting in Kuala Lumpur, you spoke of the need to monetize the waste. Yeah. What is the promise and potential of bioenergy?
Sarawak is producing oil palm. So what do? You collect the waste from oil palm. And that waste, particularly the canal can be crushed. And this crushed canal can produce what we call biomass. And one of the products is biogas. And this biogas can be processed to produce sustainable fuel. Now, airlines have to use sustainable fuel, starting from, as a base, biogas. And for the biomass itself, the biomass itself can also be used to produce energy. They call it pellet. And this pellet, some say black pellet, becomes a form of substance that produces energy, right? So I was, invited to give a talk in ASEAN business community in Kuala Lumpur. And I said, don't waste the waste, but monetize the waste. Yes. And that is, the way for you to give value to your waste. And it is part of what we call circular economy, and that will, back to the nature, and you produce that particular energy for the economic growth.
You say, don't waste the waste, monetize the waste, and bio-waste is just one of many renewable energy sources that Your Excellency, you just delineated, that Sarawak has, the many natural resources it has. At the top of our conversation, you said, Sarawak is rich in natural resources, but we need the technology. But Sarawak is also developing technology like digital platforms for grid optimization, for tracking energy efficiency. Could you share how these programs are being developed in Sarawak?
Yes. Technology is very much depends on how creative you are. And number two, you must have the notion of chemical reaction to produce energy. as you know, if you study the Industrial Revolution, it is from, gas, or what do you call this, gas, Industrial Revolution, and then you go down, down, down until today. And I believe what you need now is to train our human resource. In order to explore new technology, today is everybody is talking about AI. And now it's talking about generative AI. And this become a sort of device for you to find solutions, and that will help you to produce whatever product that you wish to produce. In other words, we have to train our people. That's why the state government is giving emphasis on education, particularly the STEM discipline. And that will, allow them to be creative and then to produce new product and new technology in the realm of economic growth.
Sarawak is a powerhouse in natural resources, increasingly in human resources as you invest in the people, but it is also an economic powerhouse. You have likened Sarawak to Germany's Bavaria region. Could you tell us why make that comparison?
As mentioned by the minister, you have surplus energy. What are you going to do with your surplus energy? You share. And that's why we shared with West Kalimantan. Now we are looking into the possibility of sharing our energy with our neighbors in Borneo and ultimately within ASEAN. And we have been tasked to explore our contribution to the ASEAN grid. And at the same time, Sarawak Energy is also investing in companies, our neighboring companies, to produce hydropower. Hydropower is not only based on dam. We are also talking in terms of cascading dam. We are blessed with a lot of rivers. Some country, they share river. Mekong River is shared by so many countries. River Nile is shared by so many countries. Danube is shared by so many countries. But in Sarawak, got so many rivers. So this is something we have to look into. And then with this river, with the power of gravity, you can produce power.
Yeah.
What we call cascading dam. Number 2 is the pump hydro storage. This is from river. So in other words, we have these resources. And then with our surplus energy, we share. At the same time, we share technology with our neighbors. If we got the right people there who are able to grasp new technology, but I think nowadays is, to me, is more convenient because of AI. We are also looking into a new AI design at the moment. We are doing research in Cardiff, United Kingdom. And at the same time, we are engaging with the US in terms of what we call fusion energy with the new technology available. And that will add to the supply of energy, and we share with our neighbors.
And of course, with the rise of AI data centers, that makes it all the more imperative to embrace renewable energy sources. And Sarawak may be a powerhouse, but it plays well with others, with Peninsula Malaysia, with Borneo, with Indonesia, and you're looking into more cooperative agreements with the rest of ASEAN. But in terms of technology, you're partnering with a number of nations, not just looking into fusion energy technology from the US, but speaking with South Korea, Japan, the UAE. What type of partnerships are you exploring there?
With Japan, we are engaging with them to produce hydrogen, not only for their own consumption there, but also the numbers is like this. We are going to produce 100,000 tons of hydrogen. And 90,000 will be consumed by Japan, and then we retain 10,000 tons. We are also working together with the Korean in terms of renewable energy. This one includes our gas. You know, fortunately, we also got reserve of gas. And gas, as you know, methane is accepted as clean among the gas. Hydrocarbon is the cleanest. So we got this gas, and this gas can be turned into ammonia. And ammonia is one of the fuel that is needed. And this ammonia can become green, though it is blue. But once you got, you know, the nitrogen there, you get rid of your carbon, and then you retain hydrogen, but you got nitrogen there, then from the space, then you can produce another green energy.
Ammonia adding to the ever-lengthening list of renewable energy sources that Sarawak has and can offer to the region. Will Sarawak be at the center of a Southeast Asian power grid?
We are very fortunate. Borneo is there. You have the Korea, the other side. You have India and Europe, the other side. I think geographically we have a strategic location. And then with that natural resources that we have, what we need is just engaging with experts to add value to the resource. And, well, we can share with the rest of the world.
From harnessing natural resources and sharing natural resources, let's talk about harnessing human resources, people development, equitable growth. How do we make sure that the people get their fair share of clean energy generation and the wealth that will be generated as a result?
You know, for us, I think you must know English first. Master English language while you have your own language. And then you interact with the community, advance the community. And then you set up your education policy. I really sorry to see this, Nordic countries. Nordic countries, they are very well advanced. And they have free education in Nordic countries. So what I'm going to do is next year, I'm going to give free education to all Sarawakian in Sarawak University. With the idea of this young generation to adopt the current technology and the new technology. And that will determine our future. In fact, the future of mankind. Not only for Sarawakian, but for the world. That's why I have a lab in Cardiff, UK. I think the High Commissioner is here. We have a lab in Cardiff. And I sent Sarawakian over there. You know, just to engage with the latest technology that can benefit mankind through sustainability goal. In fact, the UNFCCC, the UN Sustainable Goal derived from that spirit in order to maintain the ecosystem in the planet for human survival to the future. Otherwise, you know, this morning I was mentioning the news in Korea and Japan, the hottest month ever recorded. Just imagine where men can survive with 40 degrees Celsius. I don't think you can survive in that sort of temperature. Even your habitat, your vegetation cannot survive. Though you got food crisis, you got climate crisis, that will be detrimental to survival of mankind. So it is a serious problem to me. And since you got all these elements that can support to mitigate that, might as well you do it.
And to mitigate the climate crisis and the food crisis, you are investing in the future.
Yes.
Providing, starting from 2026, free tertiary education for students at state-owned universities in Sarawak to have green education, green tech education. Could you describe what are the green tech disciplines and jobs of the future that the next generation must be positioned for?
Basically, it's STEM subject, chemistry, biology, physics, mathematics. Even you have to know about astronomy, because now you got satellite in the space, and then you want to capture images, and you must have certain aspect of astronomy there. And then with your background in physics, as well as chemistry, I think that is where it becomes the engine of knowledge. There's I read a book of a scholar called Baruni. That Baruni, really, during his time, he was talking about how space will give benefit to mankind. Algorithm, you need algorithm for your IT. Your AI is based on algorithm. So these are the discipline that our people must look into and then grasp that discipline for the future.
We have a number of students who are taking part in SAREF 4.0. There is a student forum that has been organized with students from across Sarawak, Malaysia, and Southeast Asian attendance. Your Excellency, what is your message to them?
Oh, I wish I'm young like them. Because our time, we didn't have this sort of facility. Yeah. The first time I used IT, when you have to use punch card. You have to use punch card in order for you to use computer for your dissertation. But today, in your hand. So they're so efficient. The technology is there, and it's so convenient. And to this generation, you are there. The only thing is you must have that determination and the spirit to struggle for the future.
Absolutely. Well, Your Excellency, thank you so much for sharing your insights, and thank you for your leadership. You are a visionary premier who looks after your people and the planet. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak, and terima kasih Ms. Christy Lustad of CNN. Another big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Terima kasih. And now moving on, we invite our guests of honor to please remain on stage, and also to invite all the distinguished guests at the front row to join and accompany our guests of honor on stage for the symbolic launching. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis mempersilakan. Alhamdulillah. So here they are now, getting ready on stage. Well, it is time to symbolically launch SAREF 4.0. We now invite our guests of honor and accompanied by all distinguished guests to the launching area. Dipersilakan to the left side of the stage, right there at the corner. To symbolically launch SAREF 4.0, embodying this year's theme. This launch represents our collective commitment to working together towards a sustainable future. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's focus our attention to the launching area now, as we now invite the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak to place his hands on the launching gear to ignite a movement towards shared prosperity and innovation for SAREF 4.0. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis mempersilakan. A big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. It is now officially launched, SAREF, the 4th edition. And well, definitely, it is proudly known, definitely for SAREF 4.0, partnerships for our goals, sustainable growth and prosperity for the region. That's the theme for SAREF 4.0. And for now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed with the MOU exchange ceremony in conjunction with today's SAREF, to be witnessed by the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak and all distinguished guests on stage. All right, let's begin with the MOU on energy cooperation between the government of His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam and Sarawak government. Representing the Sarawak government, ladies and gentlemen, through the Minister of Utility and Telecommunication is the Honourable Datuk Haji Ibrahim bin Haji Baki, the Deputy Minister for Utility, Sarawak Energy and Petros, and Chairman of Sarawak Energy Berhad. Meanwhile, our representatives from Brunei Darussalam, please welcome Yang Mulia Datuk Sri Paduka Awang Haji Muhammad Azmi bin Haji Muhammad Hanifah, the Deputy Minister Energy at the Prime Minister's Office of Brunei Darussalam, and accompanied by Yang Mulia Pengiran Haji Jamrawira bin Pengiran Haji Petra, Deputy Permanent Secretary Energy of the Prime Minister's Office, Brunei Darussalam, and Yang Mulia Sheikh Abdul Mahdani bin Datuk Paduka Sheikh Haji Abdul Ghani, the Consul General of Brunei Darussalam to Sarawak. So here they are, ladies and gentlemen, pleased to exchange the document with our representatives for the Sarawak government on this collaboration, which is desiring to strengthen the friendly relations in the energy sector based on the principles of equality and mutual benefit, acknowledging the importance of energy sector for the mutual sustainable economic growth and development of Brunei Darussalam and Sarawak. A big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillah, congratulations once again and thank you very much. And thank you very much to our representatives from Brunei Darussalam. And now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our next MOU exchange, that is between Sarawak Energy and the Asian Development Bank on enhancing regional connectivity. To also witness this exchange, all right, we have on stage His Excellency Ajay Sharma, the British High Commissioner to Malaysia, and now representing Sarawak Energy Berhad is Yang Berbahagia Datuk Haji Sarbini bin Haji Suhaili, the Group Chief Executive Officer of SCB, and representing Asian Development Bank is please welcome Dr. Keiju Mitsuhashi, the Energy Director for Southeast Asia and the Pacific. Gentlemen, please. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, to exchange the MOU document to be witnessed by the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak and all distinguished guests on stage. And this signifies a strategic collaboration to assess electrical connectivity from Sarawak to neighbouring countries. And this partnership is to support and advance Sarawak's interconnection developments, and is also expected to benefit the Sarawak-Singapore Interconnection Project, contributing to regional energy integration and sustainability. Congratulations and a big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, ADB. Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our next significant agenda. Bakun Hydroelectric Plant is the largest in Southeast Asia to achieve silver certification under the Hydropower Sustainability Standard. And this recognition highlights Bakun's commitment to international best practices in sustainable hydropower development. For now, let's all watch this montage. big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. And of course, our next highlight is the presentation of Hydropower Sustainability Standard Certification to be witnessed by the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak. To present this, please welcome on stage Mr. James Dalton, the Global Director of Water and Wetlands of the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Please dipersilakan to join us on stage. And Mr. Dalton, pleased to present the certification to Yang Berbahagia, the Group CEO of Sarawak Energy Berhad, and witnessed by the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak and all distinguished guests on stage. Well, congratulations. And also Bakun is nominated for the prestigious International Hydropower Association Blue Planet Prize 2025, celebrating excellence in sustainable hydropower worldwide. Tahniah kita ucapkan. Once again, congratulations to Sarawak Energy Berhad. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, and now as a guest of appreciation to our guest of honor, we now invite the Honourable Chairman of Sarawak Energy Berhad to present the memento to the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak. Dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan upacara penyampaian cenderamata sebagai tanda penghargaan kepada tetamu kehormat kita yang amat berhormat Premier Sarawak akan disampaikan oleh Yang Berhormat Pengerusi Sarawak Energy Berhad. Dipersilakan. And that would be the Sarawak Batik Linut. Alhamdulillah, dedicated to our guest of honor. Another big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for our guest of honor and the rest of distinguished guests on stage. Terima kasih. And I would like to invite our guests of honor and all distinguished guests to join us on the floor to kindly return to their seats. Dipersilakan untuk kembali ke tempat duduk utama. And next what we have is a big group photo with all the wonderful guests that we have today in this room. We now invite our official photographers and all the members of media to please be on stage. Kita persilakan. This is a chance to capture the energy and excitement of this day. So insyaAllah, let's make it memorable. Everyone, are you ready? InsyaAllah, boleh semuanya. Okay, so let's all smile for the camera and celebrate the future of sustainability and renewable energy together. One big smile. All right, the second round, can we do 2 thumbs up? All right, because 1 is never enough. 2, please. Yes. Everyone looks gorgeous. Alhamdulillah. A big round of applause for you yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. And well, that concludes the official opening ceremony of SAREF 4.0. Indeed, our highest appreciation and gratitude once again to the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak for his gracious presence here today. Alhamdulillah. Sekali lagi hadirin, sama-sama kita berikan tepukan yang gemuruh kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Premier Sarawak. Setinggi-tinggi penghargaan serta ucapan terima kasih kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Premier Sarawak atas kesudian bersama-sama kita pada hari ini, dan juga merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada semua yang hadir. Thank you very much to all the distinguished guests, to all the invited guests, the delegates, the participants of SAREF 4.0. Alhamdulillah. We have a long day, ladies and gentlemen, indeed. We are going to enjoy the forum coming up next at 2 this afternoon, and all the exhibitions going on at the Youth Pavilion going on here at BCCK for SAREF 4.0. Inshallah, together, let's make SAREF 4.0 to landmark event, all right? A landmark event for sustainable growth and prosperity in the region, inshallah. Please enjoy the rest of the program this afternoon and tomorrow as well, the whole day. And inshallah, let's make some meaningful partnerships, as that is in line with the theme for the Sustainability and Renewable Energy Forum SAREF 4.0, partnerships for our goals, sustainable growth and prosperity for the region. Once again, thank you very much to the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak. Another big round of applause, please. Terima kasih. And thank you very much, everyone. Please enjoy the SAREF exhibition in the gallery. And also we have for you the Youth Pavilion And don't forget the community market. Yes, that's happening at level 1 of BCCK. Inshallah, hingga jumpa lagi. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon, same place. Yes, this afternoon at 2 o'clock for more on SAREF 4.0. Terima kasih.
every night when the moon is big and bright as a supernatural